Hello everybody, it is time for another video. We're going to go over what I picked up this last New Comic Book Day and what I'm going to be looking at for the next New Comic Book Day, which is February the 1st, I believe, of 2023. So let's get into this week's books. We're going to start with our Independents. And, okay, from Source Point Press, I picked up a copy of Nightwalkers, #1. Okay, Nightwalkers. And from AWA Upshot, picked up Year Zero, Volume 0, #4 of 5. Boy, that was a lot to say. Alright, that's those two guys. And I have not read either of these. I haven't read this series since issue 1, actually. And I've been meaning to read that one. I just haven't got around to it yet. I will. And from Image Comics, I got 2 books. First one being Inferno Girl Red, which I'll be honest with you, I'm not that into this Image superhero stuff, the Radiant Red, Radiant Black, Radiant Pink. I'm not into all that stuff. I'm just not interested at all in reading that, but I will buy it and collect it because they are trying to build out a superhero world. And I'm all about first appearances and key issues, so yeah, I'll pick it up for that reason. Now this one, I love this book, Junkyard Joe, #4. And this is such a good story. It just seems like a nice, heartfelt type, really good story that grasps you, and I'm like, I can't wait for the next issue. This is such a well-written book. Junkyard Joe. If you haven't read that one, pick it up and start reading it, because that is a great book. For real. For real, yo. Okay. DC Comics, I picked up 2 titles. And it's titles I always pick up from DC. The 3 titles that actually there's going to be 4. The titles that I always pick up from DC Comics are Detective Comics, Action Comics, Superman, main story Superman, and Batman, main story Batman. Those are the 4 titles that I will pick up from DC. That's really, unless there's something special going on, I'll check it out, but DC just doesn't appeal to me much. I'm more of a Marvel guy, so it just is what it is. But I did pick up Detective Comics 1068. And I picked up this, I guess, Nakayama variant of Action Comics #1. My shop was out of cover A. So, and it's okay because I did buy 2 copies of cover A from mycomicshop.com. So I'll be getting those. That's shipping to me on February the 1st. So those will be shipping to me. And yeah, I just picked this one up because it was my favorite of the variants that they had on the wall at my shop. So, and I do like Power Girl. So, yeah. DC. And moving right on to Marvel. Marvel Comics. Right off the bat, let's put this one out. This is Sins of Sinister, #1. I got 2 copies of that. And this book was pretty awesome. I haven't read X-Men. I dabbled. I read Immortal X-Men #1. I read it, didn't care for it. It was just more sitting around talking, not doing anything. And more talking about this stupid resurrection junk, and I just totally tuned out to X-Men. But I decided to give this a read, and I really enjoyed it because Sinister is completely living up to his name in this. What he has pulled off is completely sinister. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm actually, this is a 10 issue story that's going to be spread out throughout various books. I'm going to read every one of them because this book hooked me in. I really enjoyed this. I think there's a lot of good things that could be coming out of this with the whole X-Men and the resurrection junk and Krakoa and all that. So I'm hoping for the best. But I am reading this because this was good. It got me. So I'm going to continue on with Sinister story. Pretty cool. Good stuff. Okay. Now here we have Star Wars, The Blade, number 2, High Republic, The Blade. The story of Porter Engle and Barash Sylvain. I guess that's how you pronounce it. But I thoroughly enjoying this story. I am a sucker for Star Wars stuff, and I'm really starting to really dig this High Republic stuff. And I really did enjoy this. It's a good story, so yeah. If you're not reading that and you kind of like Star Wars or whatever, I recommend that for a read. Okay, here is The Amazing Spider-Man number 18. And I picked that up because it's The Amazing Spider-Man, which I'll be collecting that no matter what, because I buy it all the way through. But I am ready for Dark Web to be over with. Dark Web is pretty dumb, to be honest. That's that. And I picked up a back issue. This one's a couple weeks old. This is Moon Knight number 19, which I just missed. I forgot to buy it when it came out. And I am collecting that run all the way through. I'm really absolutely liking Jed McKay's run on Moon Knight. It's top notch. Good stuff. Great read. So that's all of what I picked up. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's talk about what is coming out this week. What do we have to look forward to? All right. Well, first off, from Ablaze Media, their book, I think this is a big book that they put out. I think it's got legs, really. It's called Children of the Black Sun. Number 2 is coming out. And I'm definitely going to pick that up, for sure. I did read the first issue, and first impressions, I really, really did not like the art, and I still don't like the art. It's not my style. But the story is good enough to where I'm going to overlook that art. Children of the Black Sun, give that one a read. I highly recommend that one. It's a good story. I think it's going to go somewhere. New one out, a new number 1 from AWA called Black Tape, which is kind of an interesting story. It follows this dude named Jack King, who's a rock and roll god, or whatever. And the gist of it is he dies on stage, but he had recorded a final album or whatever. And these demons or whatever are coming up and are trying to get at his final album. It sounds intriguing to me. And normally I'm not all about that demon type stuff, but I don't know. It just kind of sounds a little bit, little intriguing. So I think I will buy that one and check it out. Okay. From Boom Studios, we have The Approach number 4. And this has been a good book. So it's just going to continue on the airport saga of what's going on with this monster, and are they going to be able to, what are they going to stop this monster? What's going on? It's pretty suspenseful. It really gives me The Thing vibes. So yeah, looking forward to that one. The Approach, number 4 from Boom. Okay. On to Image. Image has a couple books coming out. A couple number ones. There's not really anything that I'm interested in that is like an ongoing series coming out from Image, but they do have 2 number ones coming out. This thing looks crooked almost. Yeah. Sorry about that. Terribly sorry about that. But Image does have a couple debuts coming out this week. The first is called Blood Tree. And it's about 2 detectives that are hunting for a killer, basically, a serial killer of family members of serial killers. That sounds totally crazy. Anyway, I'm piqued. My interest is piqued by that synopsis there, so I think I will pick that one up and give it a read. Okay, and secondly, from Image, they got a new one coming out called Almighty, number 1. And this is a 5-issue story, and it's kind of a Mad Max type deal. It says the year is 2098 in a third world America ravaged by economic collapse and various other things, and a girl has been abducted and a killer has been hired to find her and bring her home. Hey, in a post-apocalyptic type thing, and I'm kind of a sucker for that stuff, so that also piqued my interest with that. I think I will give that one a look. Okay, DC Comics, only one book that I'm remotely interested in was solicited, and I don't even know if I'm going to pick that up, to be honest. It's Flash 1 Minute War. It's a one-shot. It'll be on the screen right now. There's multiple covers for this one. If I do pick it up, of course, I'll just be picking up cover A. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother with that one, really. I don't know. Maybe. I might just follow the regular single-issue stories in the Flash. I don't know. And that's it for them. Now, moving on to Marvel, and of course, Marvel's where I spend most of my money. First book that I'm going to talk about with Marvel sounds interesting, and it's Silver Surfer. This one's called Silver Surfer Ghostlight number 1. And this is basically a character, I don't remember the character's name, Al something maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it's an old character from the 60s that is popping back up and becoming Ghostlight. Ghostlight is a new character, but it's an old character from Silver Surfer lore, so that's kind of interesting, and it looks cool, and this cover looks awesome, and there's a bunch of covers for this, so as always, pick one you like. I'm a cover A guy, so that's where I'll be. Okay. Secondly, Marvel, we got Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, number 1, and that's a big recommend. I think that's going to be a big book because I do believe that this character, if not anything else, they are going to push this character. And Bloodline, which her name is Brienne something, and yeah, she's going to be pushed. You know, Marvel's going to definitely push this character. So anything with that character, I think, is a safe bet. Pick it up. We have Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 3. And I'm kind of, you know what, there's part of me that I have liked this story, but there's also parts of me that don't like it. I really don't like when identity politics are introduced into a story. To me, that takes away from, it just takes away from it altogether. But I've liked the general story, and I like the new characters. I like Rabble, Rayanne, or Rain. I don't know what her name is, but yeah, Rabble. She seems like a pretty cool character, and it's always nice to see new stuff introduced to, you know, Miles needs his own world expanded instead of just kind of LARPing on Peter Parker's world, you know. It'd be good for him to get his own thing going. So yeah, Miles Morales number 3. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 3. Moon Knight comes out with number 20, and this has been a very good book, so I will absolutely be picking this one up and giving it a read. I liked how, well, number 19 was kind of a weird story. 18 ended with Moon Knight talking about going after Dracula, and then 20 or 19 was just kind of a weird offshoot where, so you know, with the sailors and whatnot. It was kind of really strange. But so we'll see what 20 does. Is 20 going to get back on track? We'll see. Star Wars comes out with a new book starring Sana Staros, and I'm kind of a sucker for the Star Wars stuff, so I'm definitely going to check that out. I'll be picking that up and checking it out. Anything Star Wars right now has the potential to be big. Venom comes out with number 16, and it's a dark web tie-in. And it's Venom and Eddie Brock and Dylan. In the last issue, I believe, Venom, the last issue, Red Goblin was joining up with Dylan. They're going after Bedlam and Eddie. And Miss Marvel showed up. Miss Marvel, you can see on this cover here. So I don't know if I'm going to pick that up. I probably will, because I've been picking up Venom pretty much the whole run. So I probably will pick it up. And it's another dark web tie-in. I'm ready for that all to be over with, honestly. Peach Momoko has another Demon Days book out called Down in Flames, and I'm not going to pick this up because I'm not a fan of Peach Momoko. I know there are tons of Momoko fans, so if you are, this one's for you. I will not be picking this one up. And we have the Dark Web finale, which is good news. This is a one-shot, and yeah, so this is hopefully going to tie up and end the whole, this whole dark web thing. And maybe now Zeb Wells can go in and tell the Spider-Man story that he wants to tell. So hopefully he's got something, he's got something good for us. We'll see. But we're getting this dark web stuff over with, so that's good. And that's it. That's really all I'm looking at. So I probably will pick up the dark web book just because of a collecting type thing. But yeah, so, and I might be curious to see how it ends and whatnot. So we shall see. But as I said, yes, that is it. That's everything I'm looking forward to picking up this coming week. And let me know what you're picking up. Anything I've missed on here. What did you pick up this week? Alright guys, that's it. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.